If the tap stopped running, if there was a boil water notice, if we suddenly had to collect water from somewhere we normally wouldn't, it's very easy to assume that any little filter straw, any clever looking bottle, or any countertop system will solve the problem. But that is not how this works, because some of these are brilliant for hiking, some are genuinely built for serious emergencies, and some can give you a very dangerous false sense of security if you don't understand what they're actually designed to do. So after I mentioned water filters in my last video, a lot of you asked me to break them down properly. The real question is not which one is best, the real question is this. If I faced a serious water problem, which one of these would I actually trust at home, in the car, and in a true emergency? Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Before we get into it, if you like calm, practical UK realistic survival and preparedness without the fantasy nonsense, hit subscribe. And in the comments, tell me, would you want a water filter mainly for your home, your car, your camper van, or for a proper emergency where reliable clean water isn't guaranteed? On the table, I've got water filters, purifiers ranging from tiny straws to a serious 18.5 litre military style purifier, plus test strips, a TDS meter, and a bacteria test kit for some interesting before and after comparisons. And just to be completely clear, I brought every filter in this video with my own money. I do have a promotional link for the Phoenix Gravity filter in the description, but this is not a paid ranking. I'm going to give you my honest view on where each one of these makes sense and where it doesn't from my time using them. I'm also not going to pretend a cheap home kit can clarify water as safe. It can't. What matters is matching the right tool to the right threat. The one thing you have to understand first. The word water filter gets used far too loosely. A jug in the fridge gets called a water filter. A hiking straw gets called a water filter. A press bottle gets called a water filter. A jerry can sized water purifier gets lumped into the same conversation. But there is one distinction that changes everything. A filter is generally rated against bacteria and protozoa. A purifier is rated against bacteria, protozoa, and viruses. For this conversation, that virus rating is one of the clearest lines between a basic hiking filter and something I take more seriously as an emergency purifier. Most UK preppers buy filters and think they brought purifiers. They haven't. Your filter is only half the decision. And there's one thing other people miss. Even a good purifier doesn't mean I'd happily scoop water from anywhere. If water smells like fuel, has an oily sheen, sits beside road runoff, or is flowing past obvious industry or farmland, my first thought isn't which filter should I use, it's can I find a better source? And comment down below if you want me to make a video on how to find the best water sources. I think that would make such an interesting video, because some risks are biological, others are chemical. And while activated carbon stages help produce certain chemical contaminants, no portable filter is a blanket license to ignore basic judgment about where water came from in the first place. So throughout this video, when I say I trust something, I mean for the role it's designed for, with sensible water source judgment alongside it. Filtration is a tool, not a magic wand. So instead of ranking these, I'm putting them into 4 roles: tiny emergency backups, personal grab-and-go purifiers, home systems, and serious family-scale emergency water. Then I'll tell you the one I'd keep if I could only keep one. Category 1, tiny emergency backups. First, the smallest options, the Sawyer Mini and a much cheaper water drop straw. The Sawyer Mini weighs about 40 grams, uses 0.1 micron hollow fiber filtration, and Sawyer's own claim is that the cartridge is rated up to 100,000 gallons over its life. Whether that's realistic for real-world water is another debate, but per gram of kit, nothing else on this table comes close. What people miss is how versatile it is. It comes with a pouch, a drinking straw, and a cleaning plunger. You can use it in 4 ways: as a straw on the surface, screwed onto the pouch, fitted to a standard plastic bottle, or in line on a hydration bladder. That flexibility is the real reason the outdoor world rates it, but here's the parts most people miss when they buy one. The Sawyer Mini is a filter, not a purifier. It's rated for bacteria, protozoa, plastics, and things like E. coli and Giardia. It is not rated against viruses. That's not a fault, it's the category of product it is. But it does mean that in a scenario where sewage or human contamination is realistic, exactly the kind of UK infrastructure failure scenario this video is about, this on its own is not the answer. Then there's a cheap water drop straw. On paper, the spec sheet looks almost identical: 0.1 micron hollow fiber, similar marketing language, and the free pack often costs less than a single Sawyer. The question worth asking isn't is it as good as the Sawyer, it's is it enough of a sensible backup to justify the savings? Or is it false economy? My take is the filter specs on a product page are not the same as years of independent testing. Sawyer has that track record, Waterdrop as a much newer brand doesn't yet. So if you're thinking layering Sawyer in your main pack, a cheap Waterdrop straw stashed in a glove box, coat pocket, or as a backup to the backup, I can defend that. As your only clean water plan, no. Category 2, personal grab and go purifiers. Now we move from filters to purifiers, and this is where it gets interesting. I've got the Grail Ultra Press 500ml and the Grail GeoPress Titanium 710ml. Both are rated by the manufacturer as 99.99% viruses, 99.9999% bacteria, and 99.9% protozoa cysts, plus an activated carbon cartridge that Grail says is designed to absorb chemicals including PFAS, VOCs, pesticides, herbicides, and heavy metals. The mechanism is brilliantly simple. Fill the outer cup, press it down, drink from the inner bottle. No pouches, no hoses, no balancing a gravity bag from a wall. In a stressed, tired, real-world situation, that simplicity is a form of safety. But here's what most people don't realise. The Ultra Press is a full purifier, rated identically to the bigger Titanium. The smaller size doesn't mean weaker filtration. It just means less water per press and a shorter cartridge life. Around 150 litres for the Ultra Press versus around 250 litres for the GeoPress Titanium. The Ultra Press is about 60% of the weight of the Titanium. It slides into a day pack size pocket or car door, which the bigger one can struggle with. But the Titanium has one feature that generally separates it for survival use. The body is CP4 grade 1 titanium, and with the cook lid it can go directly over a flame. So you've got purification plus a boiler plus a small cooking pot, which means a second layer of safety on top of the cartridge and a piece of kit that earns its space in a wider setup. So in one line, the Ultra Press is the EDC everyday carry purifier. The Titanium GeoPress is the serious survival bottle. Both purify the same water to the same standard. The difference is what you can do with the bottle around it. I'll put the filters and testing gear I'm using on my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the water storage and purification section. The link to that is in the description below. And if you are trying to build a more complete emergency setup at home, my free blackout checklist is in the pinned comment, as well as the UK Preparedness Survival course I spent a year planning and putting together. The feedback has been incredible, and I love reading all the emails from people who says it's generally helping them feel more secure in a changing Britain. Right then, back to the purifiers. Category 3, home water systems. Now to home preparedness, the Phoenix gravity filter and a cheaper countertop gravity unit. The Phoenix is the more serious one, and it's the only product here that fully fits the role of a water system that lives on the worktop and supports a whole household. It comes in 3 sizes, 6, 8 and 12 litres, so you can match it to your household rather than buying one generic version. The cartridges are activated coconut carbon, impregnated with a touch of silver to stop bacteria regrowth inside the filter, which is one of the most common problems with cheaper gravity systems. Cartridge life is rated for around 12 months, and there's an optional fluoride removal cartridge if that matters to you. I'm not getting into the fluoride debate today, but the option is there. Phoenix's own claims are that it reduces bacteria, pesticides, heavy metals, PFAS, microplastics, and chlorine, while retaining the minerals in the water, which is one of the things that separates a gravity carbon system from something like reverse osmosis. PFAS in particular matters because most kitchen jugs do not claim PFAS reduction, and that's a real UK water quality story. The cheaper countertop unit looks kind of similar from the outside, but there's a lesson. The housing is just glass and a tap. The cartridge is what does the work. If you don't know what's inside the cartridge, who tested it, and against what protocol, you don't actually know what it removes. For a household backup, dependable and boring beats exciting, the Phoenix is the one that quietly does the job day after day. Category 4, serious family scale emergency water. And then we get to the product that changes the hierarchy, the Lifesaver Jerry Can. This is one of the very few products here that the manufacturer classes it as a full purifier rather than a filter. Independently tested figures, verified by BCS laboratories under the NSF protocol P248 military framework, show greater than 99% 99.9999% bacteria reduction and greater than 99.9% cyst reduction. The activated carbon disc is designed to reduce certain chemical components as well as taste and odor. But the specs that really matter for an emergency are these. It stores 18.5 liters of dirty water at a time. The cartridge is rated for around 20,000 liters of purified water over its lifespan. The initial flow rate is roughly 4 liters per minute, and the unopened replacement cartridge has a 3 to 5 year shelf life. That's a completely different scale to anything else on the table. There's also a fail-safe. When the cartridge reaches end of life, the flow shuts off rather than letting unpurified water through, so you can't accidentally drink water that's no longer being treated properly. It uses no chemicals, no electricity, no measuring, no waiting 20 minutes for tablets, and no chlorine taste. You basically fill it, pump it, and drink it. It's built to the same form factor as a standard military jerry can, so it will mount in the same vehicle places you put a fuel or water can, and it's manufactured in the UK. I know it's the most expensive option here, and I'm not saying everyone needs one, but if I were honestly to ask which one of these I would trust, in a real-world water crisis, this is the one I keep coming back to: the testing. To make this more than just a spec sheet comparison, I took all these filters down to a local river, collected the same source water and ran it through every system so I could compare the results side by side. Now, I want to be very clear before I show you what happened. This is not a laboratory water safety test. The test strips give us some quick visual indicators, and the TDS reader gives us a rough reading of dissolved conductive material in the water, things like minerals and salt. But neither of these tools tell me whether bacteria, protozoa or viruses have been removed. That is why I still have to judge each product primarily by what it is actually rated and designed to do. The raw river water came in at 315 parts per million on the TDS reader. Then I ran the same water through the portable filters and purifiers. The Grail Titanium came in at 340. The Grail Ultra Press 500ml came in at 327. The Water Drop Straw came in at 343. The Soy Mini came in at 338. And the Lifesaver Jerry Can also came in at 343. So at a glance, someone might look at that and say, hang on, those didn't lower the number, did they even work? But that would be the wrong conclusion. What that actually shows is that TDS is not measuring the main reason you buy these products. The Sawyer is not designed to demineralize river water. The Grail bottles and the Lifesaver Jerry Can are not primarily trying to make a TDS number collapse. Their main value is the level of filtration or purification they are rated for, especially against microbiological threats. And the strips told a similar story. Across the Grails, the Sawyer, the Water Drop and the Lifesaver, the strips look broadly similar to the original river water. I did not see a dramatic obvious transformation across the whole strip profile. Again, that does not mean they failed. It means these basic strips are not a good way to prove whether a purifier has dealt with the biological threat it is designed for. But the countertop system gave a much visually interesting result. The budget countertop filter barely shifted the TDS number, going from 315 in the raw river to 298 after filtering. The Phoenix Gravity, however, dropped the TDS all the way from 315 down to 110. That was by far the biggest change of the whole test, and on the strip, the Phoenix sample also appeared to show a noticeable lower hardness result compared with the unfiltered river water. I would not use that strip to make laboratory-style claims about individual contaminants, but taken alongside the TDS results, it was clearly the system that behaved most differently in terms of reducing dissolved materials in this particular test. So the river test gave me two really important takeaways. First, do not judge outdoor emergency filters or purifiers by whether they make a TDS number drop. That is not necessarily the job they are designed to do. Second, if you are looking at a household style water filter and you care about visible reduction in dissolved content, the Phoenix Gravity stood out very strongly against the cheaper countertop options in this test. Okay, here's my final verdict. For the best tiny backup, it's the Sawyer Mini. It's compact, well tested, versatile and rated for bacteria and protozoa. For the best EDC, it has to be the Grail Ultra Press 500ml. It's a full purifier in a bottle that you can actually carry. For the best personal survival bottle, it has to be the Grail GeoPress Titanium. It's the same purification, but you get a titanium bottle and a cook lid for boiling. It's a true multi-purpose piece of kit and it's the one I carry the most. For the best home system, it does have to be the Phoenix Gravity. There's 3 sizes, names contaminant claims including PFAS, silver treated carbon, 12-month cartridge cartridges. It feels like, and it is, a proper household water plan, not a camping accessory. For people who are genuinely serious about water purification or do overlanding or want to keep something serious in their car, it has to be the Lifesaver Jerry Can. NSF P248 tested purifier, 18.5 litre capacity, 20,000 litre cartridge life, fail-safe shut-off, UK made. It's just an incredible piece of kit. If I could only keep one, it has to be the Lifesaver Jerry Can. Not because the others are bad, because in a genuine water crisis, infrastructure failure, contamination, multiple people relying on you, this is the one that stops being personal convenience and starts being real capability. In the real world though, the smartest setup isn't one product, it's layered. Stored water at home first, because filtration is not a replacement for having water already set aside. A home gravity system like the Phoenix for daily resilience, a purifier bottle like the Grail Titanium in the car or grab bag, a Sawyer Mini in a lighter kit as an extra layer, and for those who want serious capability, a Lifesaver Jerry Can for family scale emergency water. That's why I have all of these, because I use them for different things. And it's a sensible system. It's not panic buying, it's not hoarding gear, it's just thinking it through. So let me know in the comments which one of these would actually suit your life best. The Phoenix at home, the Grail in the car, the Sawyer in your pack, or are you going all the way to the Lifesaver Jerry Can? If you found this video useful, subscribe for more videos just like this one about home preparedness and survival in the UK. The easiest next step is my free blackout checklist linked in the pinned comments. And if you want the full UK specific preparedness plan, the UK Crisis Readiness System is what I built for exactly that, turning vague anxiety and confusion into a calm, practical step-by-step system you can follow. You can also find all the filters in this test in my Amazon kit list in the description. Thanks for watching and being in this incredible community. If you found this one helpful, I recommend watching this one on screen next about why I'm making this video and the El Nino event that has an 82% chance of happening this summer. Click it and I'll see you over there.